I would like to talk about how I have taken advantage of my precious human life, especially since the pandemic broke out. Indeed, the pandemic is a wake up call for me to see how fragile my life is. It has helped me to become more attuned to the fragility and preciousness of my life in every moment of time. It seems I take this precious human life for granted for quite a long time. I hardly realize the miraculous gift of life I've been given, or completely ignore the fact that I'm here one moment, then gone to the next. Before I ordained, I spent time shopping, traveling, engaging in idle thoughts, distracting myself with entertainment and food, immersing in fears, envying others for their success and the fruit of their labors, torturing myself with self pity, regret, and anger, getting myself caught up in the worldly concerns, blaming the situation and others for my misery and suffering, and so on. Worst of all, I allow the miracles, the goodness, the opportunity that were happening around me to fall by the wayside as I was overwhelmed by worries and anxiety for the future, or I was dwelling on the past, revisiting the episode in my life over and over again, or reopening the wounds and pains I've incurred. Fortunately, contemplating the Buddha teachings on impermanent, aging, sickness, and death have helped me gradually uh, appreciate how precious life is and to learn how to take full advantage of it. Next, I would like to share what I have tried to best utilize my precious life. Firstly, training my mind to pay attention to the present moment and to the reality of the here and now, that I am alive, I am healthy, and I have all the conducive conditions so that I can put forth effort and time to study, practice, and make a big difference in my life. Reminding myself that my inhale breath could be my last one help me treasure and make the best out of the current situation that I have with the do it now attitude. I strongly believe that if I live ethically, meaningfully, and fully every moment I create, the cause for the bright future and future rebirth. What a waste of my precious time to worry whether I will be living in the nursing home or assisted living facility 5 or 10 years from now. Ajahn Amaro said, we can change the past. It's really already happened. We can rearrange that. The future hasn't arrived yet, so it's beyond our scope. We can't do anything about either of those, but we can have an effect on the present moment. I also find Taylor Caldwell quote very inspiring. Don't let the past steal your present. However, I would like to add to his quote, don't let the past or the future steal your present. Secondly, having clear direction and purpose of my practice and training, as well as my priorities, are crucial for me, especially at my age, so that I can focus my precious time and effort on my personal and spiritual growth and development. In the reflection discipline, Reverend Mayton McQuay said, we must be willing to stop, pause, and look at our priorities. as they are expressed in how we occupy ourselves in our daily lives, what we are doing with our precious time, and with our equally precious self-dealing, hidden beneath the surface of our lives. I really resonate with her direct, simple, yet very helpful explanation. The mind body seem to have an agenda that takes precedence over the spiritual, so we have to look realistically at the demands of our life to find a window for spiritual practice. She also said a half-hearted effort brings a half-hearted result at best. Thirdly, accepting and adapting to conditions I find myself in are very helpful principles I can return to again and again in my daily life, which I learned from the reflection according to condition by Luang Por Pasano. Otherwise, I spend so much time and effort trying to manipulate circumstances to get what I want, grumbling and complaining about how things are. He said, accepting the condition doesn't mean being indifferent or not dealing with things, but really engaging with condition in a skillful, attentive way. Further, an integral part of adapting to conditions brings a sense of rising up to conditions without pushing away or running away from them. If I neglect the opportunities to apply and practice these training principles, I miss much of what monastic training is for, especially my precious time of being discontented with the condition I find myself in. He further explained, when we train ourselves to accommodate, rise up and meet conditions with a sense of relinquishment and letting go of discontent, we are likely to find that there is no need to make conditions into problems for ourselves. In addition, I realized that I need to put time and effort in transforming an unfavorable situation into a favorable conditions, as well as into regularly maintaining an environment favorable for my practice, my living condition, and my work. I need to do the work. Fourthly, trying to use my time wisely and to be extra careful of not getting sidetracked from my study and practice requires self-discipline and self-control. For example, I have made conscious effort to distance myself from the news, mind my own business, stop taking menu planning on my cushion, letting go of resentment and anger over controversial issues such as gender inequality, fairness, choose solitude over engagement, and so on. To help me make the wise choice and wise decision on how to manage my time wisely, I regularly ask myself a few questions and reflect on them, such as, do I need to read all the books in the library? Do I need to know what's going on in the world every minute, every hour? Does participating in this event benefit my study and practice? Fifthly, I realize that my life is so precious to not waste my time and energy to compete with others as I used to. I would rather focus my time and effort to cultivate good qualities, to learn from the wise and from my life experiences, to be out in nature and to commit myself to constant and never-ending improvement and learning. Sixthly, looking after myself and caring for my physical and mental well-being so that I have the resources to sustain my practice and training, to support and benefit others, and to achieve my spiritual goal, and best of all, my precious life does not go to waste. Lastly, practicing the Dharma sincerely and wholeheartedly, along with monastic training, have helped me to eventually build up my self-confidence, to unlock my hidden potential, and to step out of my comfort zone to do things that I have never imagined that I'm capable of doing in my life. I find Reverend Meeting McQuay reflection very helpful. When we continue to choose the comfortable and familiar, we end up short-charging ourselves. We never give ourselves the opportunity to stretch out of our perceived limitations, our fear, our self-consciousness, so we really don't let our potential blossom forth. Life is far more than what our conditioning tells us. May we all take the wonderful opportunities to make the most of our precious human life that was given to us.